Hey guys, I'm Lord Demon and welcome to my channel. And how are you doing today? I hope you are doing well. And today's video was both an experiment, an exercise, and maybe some sort of tutorial. It was kinda chaotic since this week was crazy for me, but I managed to do something. As you saw in the title, I will be attempting to animate in PowerPoint. And when I say animating, I mean that I'll give my best attempt to animate a character's face. But before you get started with that mess, don't forget to leave your like and subscribe so you don't miss future uploads. Let's get started with the video. And after some short experimenting, I decided to take this in 3 different steps. First is to draw the character's face, second is to input it into PowerPoint, and third is to animate it. So as I'm drawing the character, let me tell you a little bit about this idea. I've always loved PowerPoint. When I was a kid I didn't have internet at home for some years, but I did have a computer, so I would spend hours making PowerPoints. I would make silly characters out of shapes, create games, mess with the effects, the transitions, the 3D effects, everything. I can't say that I truly was a pro. I haven't used it much in the last years, but when I do, I always have so much fun, I'm not even kidding. Even to organize RPG campaigns, I use PowerPoint to write down my notes and put music. And since my early childhood, a lot has changed in there. There's a lot of potential, and my brain started to think. I want to get better at animating. As you may have heard me saying, I would love to someday make an animated series. I've made a few animatics, I use frame by frame for those, but it's nothing too professional or smooth. But I would like to try other animation techniques. There are many different ones, all great in my opinion. There's 3D animation, which I'm scared to even get close to. I tried Blender once and I couldn't even squish a sphere. Then there's frame by frame, as I mentioned, which is really time consuming and I find it hard to make the motion look good. That's not a technique problem, it's a me problem. I just have to learn more. There's stop motion too, which I think looks beautiful, but I don't trust myself to make it look nice. I know I would bump into something at any point. But there's another one that I believe is called paper cut animation. There's a traditional version with actual paper cut characters, but I think the digital version has the same name. You create a character and then rig the 2D drawing. That's kinda what I'll be doing today, or at least trying. And I decided to try PowerPoint because I feel like it's a very accessible tool for most people. And if PowerPoint isn't available to you, I believe Canva has similar tools to the ones I'll be using, so you can try that if you prefer. For the character, I decided to make something simple but somewhat Halloween themed. So I created a cute character with shiny eyes, earrings and buns. The color scheme is green, orange and black because of Halloween. And now that that's done, let's get to PowerPoint. Alright, here we are. As you can see, I imported the image and now I'm using the freeform shape tool. I'll use it for the line art and for the colors too. When I started I thought I would use the actual drawing tools of PowerPoint, but this one works way better. While I make all the shapes, let me tell you another reason why I chose to try this program. It may be a very specific reason and maybe it's just a paranoia that I have, I don't know, but when I draw I come across this problem so often it's not even funny. I draw in Paint and it is a program that uses pixels. Most of them are like this, I believe, especially free programs, but there are some that use vectors instead. An easy way to explain the difference is this. If you're working with pixels and you shrink, stretch or rotate your image, it will start to lose the definition. It starts to become foggy. If you're working with vectors, that doesn't happen. It always retains the sharpness. And when I'm drawing, I resize and reshape my sketches a lot, but when it comes to the line art, I always keep it as sharp as possible. It makes it easier for me to color after, and it also bothers the back of my mind if I don't do it like this. Whenever I reshape something, I always redraw the line art after. And because of that, I wanted some sort of vector program for this type of animation. And PowerPoint works like that. And a few tips if you try this at home. Some of the colors and line art are easier to keep separated. Like the eyes, for example. I added some eyelids too. They're not visible, but they're important to keep the iris of the eye inside of the shape. And remember, you can name your layers in PowerPoint and group shapes to help you. Now that I turned this image into shapes, let's get some movement going on in here. I duplicated the slide and used the morph transition, that's my best friend for this video, and started to alter the character. It took a long time, but I started to get the hang of it after a while, I think. It isn't the most intuitive program for this sort of things. You can't use armature burns, for example, but it was a lot of fun. Maybe it's just me, but PowerPoint makes me happy anytime I open it. It's an awesome program in my opinion, and as you can see it is very versatile. Of course this animation is no match for professional standards, it isn't groundbreaking in any way that it looks, but that wasn't the point anyway. My goal was to try and do something, and I did it. I think if I took more time I would be able to add more, and of course there are ways to make this more interesting. For example, I used just flat colors and a simple shade on the neck and nose, but I could have added the blush I usually do. It's a little bit of a process, but I think part of it is because I was figuring out the details as I went. I don't know how well the process will look in this video, I hope it looks alright, and it didn't take me as long as I thought it would. I thought I would have to either skip this week's video or do something else more simple, but it worked out. I really want to get better at Animated, and I think this was a great learning experience. And as you can see, you don't need a super expensive program to animate. I didn't even use my digital table on PowerPoint, I just used the regular mouse that I have. If you ever thought about animating, give it a try. You can make it as simple or as complex as you'd like. And if you do something like this, please show me, I'd love to see it. But anyway, I'll show you the results in a bit, but thank you for watching until the end. If you like this video, leave a like below, and while you're down there, comment what you think of this weird experiment. Don't forget to subscribe if you haven't yet, so you don't miss future videos. Thank you again so much for watching, I truly appreciate it, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye!